organization defines mental health as a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. The inability to cope with normal stresses of life is mental disorder.
Stress can ruin your life. That is what happened to Mumbai-based Rajiv Bhole, alumni of the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology. Unable to cope with stress, he became a drug addict.
Fourth year, what happened is my dad expired all of a sudden. And he had just started construction of a building. And so I had to look after this whole thing. And plus my studies. And at that time, nonsense is, prohibition was lifted. So alcohol also was there. So alcohol and plus money in this hand. So all the going and slip disc and discos and this and that. So my studies lagged behind, and the final exam I had to do well. I had to study all that thing and plus the stress. I stayed away from speed and all that. Just alcohol and marijuana sometimes. Not quite often marijuana. But that was okay. But then suddenly one fine day, somebody came up with this new drug. Hey, there's a new drug, and so I got hooked onto brown sugar, heroin. Oh, that was it. It was horrible. I went mad. Landed in a mental asylum. And there it was horrible. They gave me shocks this time. Two chaps had catching your hands, two chaps catching your leg, no anesthesia. They give you the bloody shocks. It was horrible.
Thankfully, 62-year-old Rajiv is back in form today, hale and hearty, and that is how he says everyone can be, by understanding simple philosophies of life.
Another thing is stress response is anger and fear. Now, anger and fear anger is necessary to fight for our rights, but once you have fought for your rights and it's over, we have to get rid of the anger. If the anger carries on, you continue remaining stressed, and if you continue remaining stressed, it's the same thing with fear. If your fear continues, you start developing a chronic stress syndrome, and then chronic stress syndrome is lots of nutrients are getting depleted.
Well, in a generation of fast food, stress can get even more dangerous and lead to mental problems.
All the work is done in our body by the means of proteins. The proteins are synthesized only from these 20 amino acids found in nature. If any one of them is depleted, the protein that requires it will not be able to manufacture, and our health will suffer.
What finally set Rajiv on the right track was meditation.
I went to a rehab for 1 year, and there I learned about this meditation, Vipassana. What Vipassana does is, it makes you conscious of these memories, of your sensations, and brings about a change. When you observe the sensations, if it is pleasant when you are sitting in your meditation, don't react with craving. If it's unpleasant, don't react with aversion, go away, or try to avoid those things. See, just by doing that, you're just going against the normal learning.